Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, teachers and graduates. I am Chase Birdwell, student class president, alumni, and this is Isabella Bean, student body president, alumni. We welcome you to the graduation ceremony of the class of 2020, also known as the class of Corona.
I mean, how could we not talk about it? And we thought it couldn't get any worse when the tornado hit. How about a worldwide pandemic?
But hey, enough about what ended our senior year. Those last 3 months we will never get back. For most of us, we don't remember how our last day of school went because we had no idea what was about to happen. We didn't know that we wouldn't be able to see our friends, our teachers inside that walls again. It was hard to come to terms with that. No basketball playoffs, no more pep rallies, no senior field day, no prom, no graduation, so they said. And even today, we don't have our whole class here as we're trying to be within safe distance of each other. A year ago, this was unthinkable.
With that being said, underclassmen and graduates, do not take anything for granted. We can get through anything and you can do anything you put your mind to with the will and desire to do so. So as our chapter has come to a close, thank you, Lebanon High School. Thank you to our teachers and our faculty, to our lunch ladies and janitors, to everyone that has contributed to the overall atmosphere at Lebanon. Thank you, McPete, for holding us down and Burton for keeping it real. Thank you, Dr. Walters, for being our fearless leader that we can count on when times got rough. From the eggnog to the fight club, we're all sitting here a little bit changed and different from the last 4 years in many ways. There has been a little bit of everything thrown our way. Our walls are not blank, but very, very colorful. Once a Blue Devil, always a Blue Devil. Please stand and remove your hats, except for graduates. For the invocation, please remain standing for the pledge and national anthem.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now here is Class of 2020 alumni, Briley Evans, to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Now, if you would, join me in a word of prayer before we kick this off. Dear, sweet, 8-pound, 6-ounce baby Jesus, thank you for letting us make it to this day. Thank you for giving us a great 4 years at Lebanon High School. I pray, Lord, that you be with us through these hard times. I pray that these times not divide us, but they bring us closer together as friends, families, and as a community. Let these times not break us down, but build us up for a prosperous future. I pray, Lord, that you do not let us take anything for granted, but you let us see how truly blessed we are. Thank you, Lord, for sending your Son to die on the cross so we have something to live for. Lord, please put your hand on each and every person here. Help guide us through these hard times and show us the path, Lord. Show us the way to live for you. I pray all this in your great name. Amen.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome, good evening. Welcome to the 102nd class commencement exercise in the long and proud history of Lebanon High School. We are here this evening to honor this 2020 graduating class. At this time, I would like to introduce our special guest behind the podium. Please stand when your name is called. Dr. Donna Wright, Director of Wilson County Schools. Mr. Larry Tomlinson, Chairman of the Wilson County Board of Education, Zone 5. Mr. Bill Robinson, Wilson County Board of Education, Zone 2. Mr. Chad Carl, Wilson County Board of Education, Zone 7. And Mr. Mike Gwaltney, Wilson County Board of Education, Zone 3. Thank you. A group that it has been a privilege and blessing for me to be their leader and our faculty is our faculty, assistant principals, and staff. Would you all please stand? Thank you. I would also like to recognize Ms. Sergeant Crystal Lindsay, who has been chosen Teacher of the Year by her peers for Lebanon High School. Please stand, Sergeant Lindsay. As you know, this is a tightly knit community, and our school leans heavily on it for support and as a source of pride. At this time, I would like for all Lebanon High School alumni in the bleachers or on the field to please stand. Now I'd like for any senior students who are going into the military service to please stand. Also, would those in the audience who have served or are presently serving in the military also stand for us? Thank you so much for your service. Well, graduates, I would be remiss if I did not address some of the goings-on that we are facing today. It does and will continue to affect your futures. I hope that through all of this, we emerge as better versions of ourselves on the other side. There's much to be gained from the actions of others right now, and I hope that you are graduating today with the confidence to be someone who does just that, takes action. Don't just watch the world pass you by. Please hear me when I say this. You matter. You mattered at LHS, and you will always matter. Do not let someone else make you think otherwise. Maya Angelou told us, do the best you can until you know better, and then when you know better, do better. We're all learning how to do better now. Before hearing from our student speakers, I want to share a short passage with you from St. Francis of Assisi from the early 13th century. It is his prayer of peace. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Amen. Mr. Jack Dodson is the class of 2020 Salutatorian. I have asked Jack to deliver Lebanon High School's class of 2020 welcome address.
Hello. I remember when I was in y'all's shoes, all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. You guys are adorable. Anyway, I am very nervous right now, so if you don't mind, feel free to talk to your neighbors during this, maybe even get on your phone. Just do not look me in the eyes. Moving forward, hello, graduating class of 2020. You might know me. My name is Jack Dotson, and I'm your salutatorian. I did not know what that meant, but I've been informed it means I got second place. I didn't know this whole thing was a race, so that's kind of cool. My mom told me, since I'm not first place, I should make this short and sweet. So with that being said, I'd like to give a quote that I think sums up our time here at Lebanon High School, especially the last couple of months. Here it goes. Is that an iceberg? I don't think so. Two guys on the Titanic. Thank you.
I mentioned in the first ceremony that was the most memorable speech I've heard at a graduation, and I knew I didn't even need to walk all the way back to my chair before it was over. Will Mr. Mitchell Ballard now come present the literary reading to the class of 2020?
Thank you, Dr. Walters. Hello, class of 2020. Today is a milestone in our story, and let me tell you, it feels great to be a Blue Devil alumni. This graduation ceremony marks our success here at Lebanon High School. So the piece I'm going to recite today is from Thomas J. Watson, CEO of IBM, regarding success. Would you like me to give you a formula for success? It's quite simple, really. Double your rate of failure. You're thinking of failure as the enemy of success, but it isn't at all. You can be discouraged by failure, or you can learn from it. So go ahead and make mistakes. Make all you can, because remember, that's where you'll find success. So always remember to take failure for what it is. A learning experience. That brings us one step closer to success. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Now, will Mr. North Hopper, the class 2020 class valedictorian, come up here and deliver the farewell address?
Good evening, everyone. My name is North Hopper. I'm grateful to be a valedictorian and alumni of the Lebanon High School class of 2020. I know that today is not a normal graduation and that 2020 has been far from an ordinary year. I also know that it is disappointing to be graduating in front of half your peers with a limited number of family and friends. For weeks after it was announced that we would not be returning this year, I would think back to my last day as a student at Lebanon High School. I was sick, tired, and barely talked to anyone. All I wanted to do was sleep, but I still had to attend track practice and do makeup work from the previous week. After I was finally able to go to sleep, I was awakened at 1 in the morning by tornado sirens. Fortunately, the tornado missed my house, but I struggled to fall back asleep as my cell service had cut out before I could confirm that all of my friends were okay. After this event, I was moved to see our community come together as we began to clean up after the storm to support each other. The school was closed due to power outage, but we had rehearsal for the 9 to 5 musical and track practices for spring break that provided me with a sense of socialization and normalcy. And then, as it was looking like we were just about to recover from that, everything was put on hiatus so we could create and maintain the new standard of social distancing. We all experience quarantine differently, but I expect that everyone can agree that it's not how any of us expected our senior year to end. However, one day, when I was regretting how miserable I felt on my last day of high school, I remembered that the reason I was so sleep deprived was because I had just spent 5 days as an officer in the Youth and Government Conference, which was one of the most enjoyable experiences of my time in high school and the perfect send-off for a club that I had been an active member of since freshman year. This made me realize that while we did miss the second half of the spring semester of our senior year, that is only 1/16 of the high school experience. The first time I saw LHS was on 8th grade night, and my plan for the future was to become a famous Minecraft YouTuber. I had no idea what an AP exam was, but as soon as Mr. Crawley that night said that AP Human Geography was the most failed one, I knew I was going to take it. The class of 2020 was the only class of 8th graders to be invited to the Moving On Up pep rally, in which the student body welcomed us with gifts that would have been very appreciated if we were Irish farmers from the 1840s. Freshman year, I was socially awkward and I largely hated going to school every day. But on the bright side, after a visit to the dermatologist and the application of several prescription-strength acne medications, I was able to get my face as clear and as smooth as sandpaper. However, throughout high school, I learned to reach out more. I joined the track team, NHS, student council, youth and government, science and Olympiad theater, and eventually helped start our improv club. I made friends and experiences that were way more worthwhile than had I done nothing. Then, based on a recommendation that was made to me when I had just raced 2 miles and was too focused on trying to breathe normally to process anything, I asked a girl to junior prom. Despite how awkward I was then, I'm grateful that she is to this day, putting up with me and my rants, mostly about the movie Interstellar and the fact that lemon lime Gatorade is the color green. But that was just my high school story. And so much has been accomplished by others. The track team won district, the girls basketball team made the state tournament, and so many other students, clubs, and teams made accomplishments that I would be aware of if I paid attention to the announcements. If I were to thank every person who has helped me in high school by name, then I would be here for far too long. So I would like to extend my sincerest thanks and appreciation to everyone here. Whether that be my family, who has been incredibly supportive of me and has empowered me to be the person that I am today. The teachers and other faculty of the school that have opened my mind to new information, and ideas and opportunities, who care not only about the subject they are teaching, but also about the hundreds of different students that they see every year. To my close colleagues that have made high school enjoyable, and who I know are there to support me and or send me high-quality memes. And finally, to everyone here I don't know very well or have never met, for each of your contributions to Lebanon High School, whether that be through academics, sports, extracurriculars, or just by showing up and bringing everything great about yourself as an individual to the student body. We all had our own journey, and while sometimes those journeys separated us, ultimately here today they have brought us together, both with half of the class physically present and as a whole. While the coronavirus epidemic and social distancing restrictions affected everyone here in their own unique way, it did to some degree affect all of us. Even though we are physically separated, the shared experience brought us closer and bonded us in a way only something of this magnitude could. Every generation and every person has their own obstacles, but the world around us does not have to define who we are or who we will become. The world is different now than it was a year ago, but change is the nature of the world. Without change, we'd still be living in caves and foraging for food. We often look back on history as a straight line of forward progress, but in reality, it is far from that. There are plentiful harvests and massive droughts, huge technological advancements, and devastating tragedies. And while the earth does throw curveballs, the vast majority of change, good and bad, is made by people. And now we are adults, which means willingly or not, we are in control of what our future is going to be. This is why I urge all of you to remember at times like these, when the world is already trying its hardest to pull us down, we remember to lift each other up. Every one of you has a different past and is going into a different future. I have only a few more hours of life experience as everyone else graduating today, so I can't give blanket words of advice that will apply to all of you as you set out to continue the next steps of your journey. So I'm going to recommend one thing. For all the choices you make sure they are your own. Do not live a life that is not true to who you are. Make sure that you are the one in control. Do not look to the collective for a sense of identity and self-worth. I recommend to go out into the world and try to accomplish something you're passionate about, and that gives you a sense of purpose. If it means something to you, it'll mean something to the world. To conclude my speech, this year has not gone as planned. However, despite the tornado, despite the lockdown, and despite recommendations from scientists, we are all here today to graduate and honor each other. Regardless of how you got here and where you're going, that is an accomplishment, and you should be proud. I am proud of every person today and excited to see what each of you is going to contribute to the world. And remember, once a Blue Devil, always a Blue Devil.
I just have to say, isn't this night gorgeous? It is beautiful out here. It feels good. I don't think anybody's sweating quite like we did at 4 o'clock. Being a part of a community school such as Lebanon High School is something that's very special. Our goal is that every student has an equal opportunity to develop as a total person. We feel that we're big enough to deliver an abundance of opportunities, but still small enough to care about the individual. This is the 8th graduating class from our new building. Of course, they will be remembered for their wild student section themes and their top-rated culinary, FFA, book club, business leader, and athletic skills that earned them trips to state and national competitions. And typically, I ask teachers what the graduating class will be most remembered for. But this is one particular class that I know very well. You may all remember it quite well, but during your sophomore year, I was ready for you to graduate then. It was a difficult year. There was loss, there was conflict, and there was a lot of hurt. But what I saw over the course of the last 3 years specifically was your beautiful development into young adults. What we will remember this class for is their growth, maturity, loyalty, school spirit, and sense of responsibility that they displayed while students here. This class is particularly memorable to me. The journey you all have taken to get here today has been formative, to say the least, and for me as well, because we did it together. The ups and the downs, the stress and the fun, the wins and the losses. This is a class that I will personally never forget. This class before me took on the high school experience with their heads held high. They've grown from timid and squirrely freshmen that I met in the theater on August 1st, 2016, to the young men and women before you today. Thank you, guys. They have pride in their school, and they make sure others know it. They've taught me a lot about what it means to be a Blue Devil, and that is something they will not let others take away from them either. Most importantly, the class of 2020 has continued to show academic gains that make Lebanon High School one of the top schools in the state of Tennessee. And that's not just something I made up. I got a plaque in the mail this week to prove it. The graduating class of 2020 has accomplished much and developed many characteristics that will always make them special. The commencement program addresses many of these accomplishments. I would like to recognize a few special groups of this particular class. Would the 62 Tennessee Scholars please stand and remain standing? And then would the 290 Hope Scholars please stand and remain standing? Hope Scholars must have a 3.0 or better GPA or a 21 or higher on the ACT. And just to provide some perspective, Hope Scholars, this number is nearly 100 more than those in the class of 2019. So, great job, guys. Give them a round of applause. You may be seated. We are smart. We use our brains until they hurt. We intend every day to leave the building tired from our purposeful work. That has been our goal every day this year. And of course, every day we want to learn something, no matter how different our futures may look. And this is possible. I know I am still learning. This class embodies the pride, spirit, tradition, vision of LHS. The class of 2020 has 119 students that have a GPA of a 4.0 or better, and an additional 165 that have a 3.0 or better. They've taken advantage of our many advanced placement, dual enrollment, honors, and career tech offerings. This class has the highest average ACT composite in school history. That's great, yeah. Their average composite is a whole point above the Tennessee state average and is over the state average on every subtest of the ACT. This next number I'm sharing is much higher than I'm reporting today. We're not able to quite get with every senior this spring semester, but the class of 2020 so far has accepted over $7 million in scholarship money to attend more than 56 different colleges, technical schools, and universities for a total of just over 90% pursuing post-secondary educational opportunities. Additionally, 3% will enter the military and 7% into the workforce. I'm very proud of the class of 2020 and the faculty and staff that have nurtured them to the outstanding successes that have been attained during their high school career. This class has met every challenge with character, pride, and dignity. They're expected to be responsible leaders throughout their lives. Class of 2020, would you please stand and repeat after me? I, state your name, will remember, as a graduate of Lebanon High School, to live my life with a pride in self, a spirit to succeed, and a tradition of excellence. Please remain standing. This is a very special time, and I would encourage everyone to show honor and dignity towards our graduates. I would like to make a statement at this time regarding decorum. We have many family members and friends who have traveled long distances or are watching from home to see a moment that lasts about 10 seconds. Although we are currently using an athletic arena as our stage, please remember that this is not an athletic event, but a formal ceremony that lasts but a short time. We wish to treat this occasion with formality and sophistication. Applause for each graduate should be kept to a minimum without the use of air horns or noisemakers until the appropriate time. After each name is called, there will be a slight pause before moving on to the next name. Since this is an important time for LHS, we want every family to enjoy and take great pride when their graduate's name is called as they cross this field to receive their diploma. At the appropriate time, we will then allow a moment for what I like to call unrestrained jubilation, and I hope that they can hear you all the way in Nashville then. Graduates, this will be a little bit different. I'm going to wear a protective mask and gloves, and instead of shaking your hand, we're going to elbow bump as you come through. We are all happy to be here today, but we are still going to observe some caution. We now prepare for the presentation of diplomas. Dr. Wright, would you please join me at the podium? It is with great pride that I present to you a highly motivated, collaborative thinking, problem-solving class of future leaders that are extremely proud to have completed their high school career. This is the Lebanon High School class of 2020.
By the authority vested in me by the State Board of Education and the Wilson County School Board, I have searched or caused to be searched the records on file of each of the seniors whose names shall be publicly announced, and I certify that each of these students has met at least the minimum requirements for graduation from Lebanon High School, as established by such the previously mentioned agencies, and is eligible to receive a diploma of graduation. In the eyes of the principals and teachers of this school, we have determined that the following students have attained an approved attendance, conduct, and subject matter record which covers a 12-year program as established by the records on file in the offices of Lebanon High School.
All right, seniors, you may be seated, and we will proceed with the presentation of your individual diplomas.
Sylvester Barrera. Nicholas Reed Lackey. Lindsay Abigail Lassiter. Susan Bailey Lassiter. Christian Angel Laws in absentia. Hannah Victoria Lawson. Colton Anthony Leeper. Leah McKay Lehue. Dolores Leon Cano. Garrison Riley Leonard. Aaron Grace Lester. Robert Dylan Lester. Sam Ferguson Lewis. Micah Donnae Limbaugh. Colton Blake Lindquist. Malcolm Lawan Logue. Devin Monroe Long. Riley Jade Long in absentia. Alexis Lopez. Isaac J. Lopez. Omar Ezekiel Lopez in absentia. Charles Spencer Lowry. George Avery Lowry. Gabriel Luna Salazar. Jonathan William Looper. Micah Cordell Maynard. Marquidra Gabriana Mann. Deanna Paige Martin. Sarah Riley Martin. Jan Chris Martinez. Billy Dalton Massey. India Arena Maston. Sarah Ann Mathis. Elijah Lorenzo Mattery. Catherine Lorene Matthews. Shelby Lucas McCain. Tanisha Leanne McCathern. Mark Anthony McDearman. Molly Marie McElhiney. Alexander Perry McGovern. Asia Michaela McKinley. Gilberto Miguel Medina Jr. Alan Mejia. Franklin Zacaria Mejia. Lorena Mendez. Hayden Michael Merrill. Skylar Metcalf.
Chandler Jacob Mills. Mackenzie Grace Moore. Madeline Grace Montgomery. Hezekiah Eugene Moore. Joseph Preston Moore. Austin Lee Morphus. Alyssa Marie Milosky. Melanie Renee Murdoch in absentia. Caleb Avery Neighbors. Blake Allen Nelson. Madeline Kate Newberg in absentia. Marquasia Alashiana Nunley. Caroline Prater O'Brien. Clarice Mackenzie O'Connell Bond. Gregory Wayne Oliver. Kaylee Lynn Olmstead. Catherine Alice Rose Orr. Elvis Exadier Ortiz. Jose Manuel Ortiz. Dami Ortiz Viterbo. Savannah Rose Pilati. Roxana Martinez Pantaleon. Sylvia Pantaleon Marcelino in absentia. Emily Grace Parker. Robert Lloyd Parker. Kushi Dehashkumar Patel. Nancy Sanjay Patel. Pranav Kamlesh Patel. Ashley Elizabeth Payne. Elijah Todd Blaine Pearson. Christian Alexander Pena. Austin Lee Pinuel. Litzy Perez Bautista. Aubrey Patricia Perry. Anthony Xavier Phelps. Polo Mason Phillips. Johnson Cao Fung. Megan Ann Petros. Garrett John Pope. Sarah Louise Porter. Joshua Mackay Powell. Olivia Adelaide Powers. Olivia Ann Pryor. Eliza Lee Puckett. Connor Grayson Ragsdale. Chisholm Blaine Rallis. Andrea Ramirez. Dylan Jeffrey Rankhorn. Gavin Joe Reasonover. Austin Taylor Reed. Trayvon DeRegional Reedy. Sarah Catherine Reese. Dylan Tyler Reeves. Cooper Wayne Retzky. Matthew Clark Ritchie. Leiled Dondrili Alejandria Raira Jaimes. Dominic James Roberts. Thomas Lee Robinson. Jessica Wave Rockhill. Mario Rodriguez Gomez. Gabriel Rojas Vallejo Jr. Trinity Elizabeth Royer. Dylan Michael Roselle. William Joseph Sabaski. Manuel Francisco Salazar Perry. Levi Randall Sampson. Catherine Danielle Sanchez. Margaret Rose Sanders. Katie Mae Sanford in absentia. Harley Colleen Scranton.
Serena Diana Shannon. Gabrielle Nicole Sharon. Mamie Sue Shaw. Olivia Jordan Shaw. Madeline Marie Sheldon. Corey Austin Sherman. Camille Marlene Ship. Devin Michael Shotwell. Elizabeth Danielle Shreve. Matthew Thomas Shreve. Matthew Wyatt Simmons in absentia. Jenna Nicole Sims. Charity Marie Sink. Devin DeAndrea Smith. Edwin Eugene Smith. Laura Rose Smith. Michael Noel Smith. Justin Sean Smotherman. Jack Embry Speed. Madison Corinne Stark. Cameron Bailey Stevens. Aniston Grace Stewart. Edmund Renarco Stewart. Haley Madison Stewart. Emma Caitlin Stone. Raven Sky Newton Strobert in absentia. Cooper Austin Sullivan. Alexander James Suttles. Michaela Bonnie Sutton. Anthony Christopher Taylor. Michaela Marie Taylor in absentia. Angel Emmanuel Tacalco. Jonathan Luke Testament. Addison Nicole Thiel. Chandler Jarrett Thomas. Joshua Casey Thomas. Matthew Hunter Thomas in absentia. Michael Dwayne Thompson. Mason Thomas Thorne. Ryan Caleb Toporowski. Gabriel Sean Truman. Andres Ryan Nicholas Trujillo. Mario Trujillo. Mauricio Trujillo. Caleb Samuel Truss. Cade Christian Tuchel. Kirsten Joy Unzis. Jeffrey Dwayne Usry Jr., Alexis Nicole Vanata, John Logan Vastola, Michelle Berenice Venegas, Avery Renee Wall, Caitlin Grace Walker, Madeline Elizabeth Walker, John Patrick Womble, Wesley Owens Watson, Omari Wahim Weeks, Javon Torres Ware, Mylisha Nashawn Wharton, Audrey Elaine Wheatley, Effie Grace White, Annie Rose Whitefield, Tyler Michael Wiggins, Harvick Dale Earnhardt Wiley, Marlene Elizabeth Wilkerson, Derek Lee Willie, Madison DeLee Williams, Megan Caroline Williams, McKenna Faith Williams, Marshall Shoaf Williams, Desiree Marie Willis, Braden Michael Wilson, Jalen Armani Wofford, Alyssa Dawn Woodcock, Akira Elise Wooden, Aaliyah Nashay Woodmore, Cameron Tyrell Woods, Dalton Trainum Woods, Jaden Dale Woods, Colin Ray Worley, Ethan James Wright, Alexis Diane Young, Mahadi Jamal Young, Juanita Nicole Zaragoza, Bibiana Zermeno, Caitlin Marie Zolan,
All right. We have asked Sergeant Lindsay to lead us in the traditional tassel ceremony. Sergeant Lindsay.
As a member of the Lebanon High School faculty, it is a pleasure to be involved in the Lebanon High School class of 2020 graduation. We're extremely proud of what each of you has accomplished. At this time, please stand and join me in the traditional tassel ceremony. Seniors, move your tassel from right to left.
Thank you, Sergeant Lindsay. I would now like to direct your attention to your programs so that you can sing along to the alma mater.
In the dawning light and at eve, honor scholarship to thee cleave. Now as lovingly we depart, thou wilt ever be in our heart. Praise we raise for all to see, grace esteem eternally. As the years go by, we'll be true to our Lebanon white and blue.
Now everyone, it is time to make some noise for the graduating class of 2020. All right. Now you got to get back in front of your chairs. You can talk to your friends later. All right, no hugging. We're social distancing. Hug where I can't see you, please. Later. Dr. Seuss tells us you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what you know, and you are the one who will decide where to go. As always, graduates, it is important for you to remember who you are, where you come from, and who you represent. I know this class will go out into the world and make us look good. Although after today you are no longer students at Lebanon High School, remember that once a Blue Devil, always a Blue Devil. Graduates, as you exit the field, you will receive your actual diplomas and may meet your family in the parking lot to leave campus. Thank you, everybody.